Okay, I've heard that some of you do not like my analogy with the bank account and the adding debt or subtracting money and all that. It's making it more confusing. So I'm going to try and just give you the basics here. The first number is your starting point, and your answer is either going to be bigger than that or smaller than that, meaning you're either going to add an amount to that or you're going to subtract an amount to that. It all boils down to adding to your starting point or subtracting from your starting point. So here's 4 examples. Your starting point could be positive or your starting point could be negative, and you could add to your starting point and your answer would be bigger than what you started with. You could subtract from your starting point and your answer would be smaller than what you started with. And it goes the same with negative numbers. Your starting point could be a negative. If you add to a negative starting point, you're going to be less negative, maybe even positive, but you're going to be going up. So you're adding 2, you're going up 2. That's not enough to get you back to 0, but you're a little less negative. You're a negative 3. Let's say you subtract from your starting point. That means you're going to be farther negative. You're going to be less than what you started with. 2 less than what you started with. That's negative 7. That's as simple as I can make it for you. Now, the only way that it gets a little bit more confusing is with these 2 examples right here. Well, that's not exactly true. It could be more confusing with all 4 of them, so I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to give you how it could be more confusing with each one of these 4 just by the way that it's written. So 5 plus 2 could be written as 5 minus negative 2. This could be written as 5 plus a negative 2. This could be written as negative 5 minus a negative 2, and this could be written as negative 5 plus a negative 2. So maybe you're seeing the pattern here. If you're adding to your starting point, it might be written as subtracting a negative. So this column here is when it gets more confusing, because instead of just having one sign in the middle, an add or subtract, now you've got 2 signs in the middle of your problem, in between your 2 numbers. These all have 2 signs as opposed to 1. So that's why these are more confusing. That's why this whole standard is confusing. If it was just problems like this, I wouldn't even hardly have to teach that to you guys. You guys got this. So if you want to convert these into that, and it might make it easier for you. So minus a minus, that's the same thing as adding. Plus a minus in the middle is the same thing as subtracting. You're adding debt, you're subtracting. You're getting rid of debt, you're adding. All right, minus a minus again, same thing as adding. Plus a minus again, same thing as subtracting. So if you're having trouble with the 2 signs in a row in the middle, this is what that means. So if you can convert this back to here, maybe that would be easier for you as opposed to thinking, all right, I'm adding a negative number, I'm depositing, I'm adding something to my account, and it's a debt, it's a negative number. I'm going to go down by 3, or down by 2. I'm going to have 2 less dollars in there. 5 minus 2, I'm going to have 3. I'm subtracting from my account, I'm withdrawing, I'm taking something out, and what I'm taking out is a negative amount. That's good. I don't want negative amounts in my account. If I take out a negative amount, I'm going to go up by that much. I'm adding 2. Okay, so I gave you the banking analogies for all these, but really you could just convert those into a plus sign or a single minus sign and make it a little bit more easy for yourself.